Last night you called Trump an embarrassment for the way he's handled it on Twitter and everything, but that's not enough because people would say you didn't go far enough in criticizing him. And it's like short of knocking the phone out of his fucking hand, like what can you do?
Mike brought this up last night too. I think the idea that Barstool's this alt-right site is fucking
wild.
If you paid attention to it, I mean, again, there's a lot of nice people there, and some of them reached out to me. Some of the people who are different than me philosophically, and I think these people think, the younger people think that I'm this like right-wing guy.
Well, you are now. Not that you are, but I'm saying by today's standards, anyone who says the things you say, like I was just thinking about Jason Whitlock because he just got fired. Yeah. Jason Whitlock's considered like this conservative right-wing guy.
Because, you know, you say that maybe some of these guys are assholes, some of these protesters. Well, some of them mean well, some of them are assholes. Right. Or not everything Donald Trump does is a disaster. So I mean, I had a back and forth, a Trump supporter today. I mean, a Trump hater today. I was just like, I can't. Like they're like you know, all these this police shooting happened because this guy died because Trump was president. Right. This guy put his knee on this guy's head because Donald Trump was president. And then you just say, was Trump president during Ferguson? Was Trump president during Rodney King? Was Trump president during Baltimore? No. And I don't blame Barack Obama for Baltimore. I don't. Some do. They do. Well, they do, Steve.
I don't think conservatives blame. They might have blamed him for inflaming it.
I guarantee you,
not for the original
simple Google search. No, I know, but
not for the original thing, but for the hysteria afterwards, the riots.
And where I blame Trump is how he handles stuff like this now. Like he fucking sucks at this.
Well, that's completely fair to attack Trump for his response to
this. My 20 minutes last night, my brilliant soliloquy that brought America together in 1996 would have been seen as a centrist. With just a middle-of-the-road centrist.
Without doubt.
That is looked at by most now as a Republican thing because I'm not...
An extremist Republican, not even moderate.
Not tweeting out, and I got to say, I'm sure this is a nice person, a fucking idiotic anti-racism resources for white people. A 26-year-old, whatever her name is telling me, I'm 45 years old, I got 2 kids. I fucking, you know, I've lived. Resources for white parents to raise anti-racist children. I mean... Fuck off! Like I mean, it's so insulting. And if you can't react to that, I mean, that's to me is equally as insulting as the. It's just it's tiring. So I think, but I appreciate that Dave. I think Dave is actually with me 1,000% on that one.
Well, it seems to me like there's one of the big refrains you're saying is, oh, you can't be silent anymore. So everyone feels like they need to do something, they need to say something, and this is just Rhea and Fran are kind of resorting to.
But that's fine.
And letting the public know which side.
And if they did the podcast tomorrow and they said this fucking old white asshole, you know, doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, he's out of touch, I'd react to it, but I would say. Fucking fantastic. Yeah. There's a four and there and like I said, I know without knowing, but I am very sure that their hearts are in the right place and they are well-meaning. Of that I have no doubt. Just like the people from Barstool I talked to today who disagree with me, they're all nice people. But and this is part of the problem when you're getting near middle age and you've had some success and you have a little bit of money and you start to lose touch a little bit. And I do think that happens and I can recognize that, but I think when you're that age as well, you don't understand how everything works. So there's some weird confluence that doesn't quite add up.
And it's strange seeing the people. There are some people that, like I heard fucking poor Casey Smith on the radio today doing acrobatics, apologizing for being white and blonde, and it's like you don't need to do. Like she tweeted something that might have been kind of dumb, and then she was like, I should have done that. But it's like you don't have to apologize for having an opinion.
She meant well.
Now she's apologizing for who she is, and that's equally wrong. And I don't understand why people don't see that.
I think that's one of the problems with liberalism, though, is that their hearts are in the right place and it does come from a good place.
Some are.
Sometimes, yes. But I mean, like, you know, affirmative action policies have come from your heart being in the right place. Lyndon B. Johnson, his welfare programs came from heart in the right place again, but it doesn't mean they're not harmful and pernicious to the very people they're trying to help.
And I think, of course, a black American male, frankly, when it comes to getting arrested, and far more often than not, has a much better take and articulation on this than I do. I mean, I'm not a fucking idiot. The people who don't think that are stupid.
Did you see the video that Trump tweeted out of the white guy who's like directing around the black protesters?
No, I don't think so.
It's like he's like this skinny jean wearing hipster guy who's probably Antifa or something, like directing around a bunch of other black protesters. It looks like there are people who are being used by very smart, very well organized, hardcore leftists.
And I got angry again last night watching the shit in Boston. I mean, it's just a fucking embarrassment. These people are not the ones who were violent, and if I have to listen to the fucking media tell me that it was a very peaceful protest until it happened, no shit.
Until the cops came and started violence.
It was a very peaceful protest until it wasn't peaceful anymore.
Yeah.
Well, great, fantastic. The fucking plane was until it fucking crashed. I mean, it's no shit.
I mean, how do protests end? Is it just to get hits 11 o'clock and everyone's like, let's head home, guys?
The bell rings. You know, I'm watching this guy on Tremont Street, this cop who's stuck in his car, and people are throwing shit at him. He's stuck. The other cops have to come get him out. They're yelling. There are guys laughing. They're all next to each other. No one's wearing a fucking mask. And I'm like, I am supposed to, again, like Rhea and Fran are telling me that I can't judge how these assholes are fucking protesting. Well, fuck off.
Right.
I will judge. I'm sorry. Just like I will judge the ones who are doing it peacefully and say, well, I'm not sure it's going to accomplish anything. You know, I saw Obama
spreading COVID-19.
Well, yeah, I saw Obama say today, you know, the best way to take care of this is to go out and vote. And he's right. Now, of course, I mean, it is my vote for Joe Biden, but still vote for people who you think can do a better job. I mean, fucking George Floyd's brother today was like, why are we, what are you doing?
Yeah, he said George wouldn't want this.
Yeah, he said, cut the shit. Like, what, you're destroying fucking businesses and houses. We saw these business owners last night crying. They've been able to work for 3 months, and now their businesses get blown up. They're so fucked. And for what? I would ask any protester, and I'd be happy to talk to any of them. How does that act stop the next cop from putting his knee on the guy's head? Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. It doesn't. I get there's anger. I totally get it. You know, I haven't had to experience it. I understand that, but that will not accomplish a fucking thing. In fact, it'll make it worse.
Well, last night they don't want to. They don't want to fix it. They don't want to make. I mean, some of them do. Some of them do. But for sure. I think that they see it as it's just an expression of raw anger and maybe a little bit of vengeance.
What are you saying, Mike?
Last night you called Trump an embarrassment for the way he's handled it on Twitter and everything, but that's not enough because people would say you didn't go far enough in criticizing him. And it's like short of knocking the phone out of his fucking hand. Like
not much I can do. Not much I can do.
Well, you got to be down there in D.C.
Right.
You know, you got to be setting fire to that old Catholic church where Abraham Lincoln prayed.
Oh, unfortunately, I made the scenario to Dave, and I hope it doesn't happen. But I mean, what happens when 6 cops get fucking really beat up?
Right.
Or whatever. I mean, what are we supposed? And last night you have I don't know. I mean, Boston's a mess. Marty Walsh is such a shithead.